Welcome to the channel. My name is Don. I'm in Japan. I've been in Japan for about 8 years. Came to Japan through education. Over the 8 years, I've evolved a lot throughout my experience in education and around understanding and learning the culture as well in Japan. And learning the culture means learning the language, which actually brings me to today's topic on around why it's important to learn Japanese, especially for those living in Japan, right? By the way, this channel is actually dedicated to experts, right? Specifically those in Japan and those looking into moving into Japan and then branching off globally to experts in different countries as well. You know, you might relate to some of the content that we cover or the topics that we cover. And that's me adding value as well. And I was thinking to myself, like when I came to Japan, I came across a lot of channels that I still follow up to this day. Like shout out to the Black Experience, Ranzo, like my go-to guy every time. Like when I touch down in Japan, Ranzo just helped me to navigate my human experience in Japan. You know, eventually he's someone that I would want to sit down with if time permits. It's something that I am pushing out there into the universe. I believe in manifestation, right? What you put out there, if it's for the right intent, it'll reach the people that you want to reach, and that impact will be seen. So yeah, shout out to Ranzo, the Black Experience, right? Shout out to that channel. Like I followed Ranzo's journey because I came in 2018, and I think Ranzo had just started his channel the previous year in 2017, right around in September. You know, so I caught up with a couple of interviews that he had already started shooting. Like some beautiful content, man, super on point, great stuff. Let's go for it. So the first benefit of learning Japanese is it's going to be easy for you to integrate. It's just going to make it easy for you to navigate your experience in Japan. Japan naturally being homogeneous. So from directions to be it application forms that you need to complete, they are all in kanji, they are all in Japanese, I mean. Right? So it's going to make life easy for you to navigate in Japan. And it's actually going to make life more fulfilling in Japan. You tend to experience the culture differently when you understand the language. By understanding the language, you also start to understand the culture. So that's number one reason why that's the first reason why you should study Japanese. The second reason why you should study Japanese is because Japan is a powerhouse, to be honest. Innovation in tech. You know, this is where tradition meets what? Innovation. And they have done just a good job of blending their culture with innovation as well. It's what makes Japan stand out, and it's exactly what makes Japan more interesting, and also it's what makes Japan stand out in terms of business opportunities, like how it has just managed to thrive through bringing its culture and innovation together. You know, so people find Japan to be a destination for innovation and unconventional ways of doing business in the tech world. So it opens up doors for you if you're positioned in Japan. Even if you're not positioned in Japan as well, it really opens up some really good doors for you in the tech industry. You know, with where things are heading, I think it's just imperative for you to at least be aware of, you know, your AI tools. You don't even need to be aware of coding or to be able to code, just to use AI, you know, video editing, things like that. They're catching up on us. They're optimizing and making life more efficient for us. So I think by learning Japanese, you will already set yourself up for a win within Japan. And even if you're looking into coming into Japan as well, that's through opportunities, work opportunities, taking an entrepreneurial lane as well, you are bound to flourish more in Japan. The third reason why you should learn Japanese is that in as much as learning a new language is beneficial for your cognitive functioning, right? Japanese does more than that. You know why? Just because of how the writing is structured. You have 3 sets of writing. You've got kanji, you've got hiragana, you've got katakana. So that mental exercise of trying to really understand how the writing works as you learn it bit by bit, you know, through first principles, breaking down the language, that process alone does so much to your cognitive abilities. And I would like to think that once your cognitive abilities continue improving, your creativity improves as well, right? And what a time we're living in, where your creativity really counts, right? Because it's going to allow you to live life more free, freedom of time. I mean, who's not into that right now? Freedom to express your ideas, your thoughts, freedom to create things that are meaningful for you. And you need that when you have that time and space to be creative as well, right? Japanese offers you that ability once you start studying it. It just changes the way you see things, all right? Great stuff. The fourth reason why you should learn Japanese is because there's low volume in learning Japanese, but like high rewards, right? Comparatively speaking, if you look at a language like Mandarin, there are about 1 billion people who speak in Mandarin. That's 14% of the globe, right? It's compared to 125 million people who speak Japanese. But because Japan is strategically positioned to win, naturally having the right allies, if you take a look at a quick history lesson in the 1900s during the Meiji period, Japan quickly realized, you know what, for us to really integrated international community, the blueprint of running this country should be similar to the Western way of seeing things, right? Or should be similar to most of our allies. That's what Japan did. And naturally, by doing that, Japan strategically positioned itself to win. There are a lot of conventions that allow you to sit down with business people from different parts of the world, right? This is how you can get connections to start up things. You might have good ideas, right? You might like how things work, but you really don't know how to go about propelling your project. There are a lot of opportunities for you to meet a lot of creators from different parts of the world, naturally because of Japan's what? Strategic allies or relationships that it has. Yes, great. The other reason for learning Japanese is just going to allow you to have a 360 experience of Japan, especially for tourists and visitors, right? It will allow you to then ask the deeper questions that you want to ask about the culture. Japan is just an interesting place, like I mentioned when I started the video, that it's where tradition meets innovation. So there might be people who want to do research, right, about different topics. You might have anthropologists who want to do research out there, people who want to shoot documentaries. If you're able to communicate in Japanese, it's going to make it easy for you to ask the deep questions, and it's going to allow you to then have a rich content that's going to be of benefit to people out there. So I honestly think learning the language will just make it easy for you to navigate your experience. Yeah. Zooming out and seeing the bigger picture, what a time we're living in, where we are allowed to connect people from different cultures. I believe that cultures are interrelated, they are connected, we can learn from each other, and the best way to do that is through understanding each other's language. Japanese people are naturally considerate people. This is off of the culture of Omotenashi. Omotenashi means hospitality. This is being considerate of your neighbor's limitations, or also just being considerate of your neighbor. That's what Omotenashi means. So with that awareness in mind, I would honestly think that for experts in Japan and those looking into coming into Japan, the best way that you can reciprocate that kind of consideration is through being aware of the culture. And you become aware of the culture through speaking the language. And that's contextualization. Like I've noticed, rounding up using my own experience, I've noticed that the more that I started speaking in Japanese, right, I benefited through immersion. The more I started trying to say words in Japanese or expressing myself in Japanese, the more Japanese people opened up to me, and the more they found me to be interesting. You already are interesting as a foreigner in Japan, as a gaijin. You already have get a pass ticket for just being you, But you become more interesting as well if you start to speak their language and start to understand how they move, For me, that's you reciprocating the culture of Omotenashi. That's you showing hospitality as well, because it's a homogenous country, right? And you'll hardly find people who speak in English, especially in smaller cities, right? So if you flip the script and you're able to communicate in their language, it's like for them you're reciprocating Omotenashi, and you become unforgettable. I came across someone who had visited my country beforehand as well, right? A Japanese individual who could speak my native language. Like, it hit me differently, guys. That person for me will always be unforgettable. So that goes to you as well, watching. If you are able to articulate yourself in Japanese, you are going to be unforgettable to the Japanese people that you encounter. And then if you then take your experience, the exposure that you are getting as well from this information, right? And let's say maybe start up your own company, be your own brand, taking an entrepreneurial lane. You will be unforgettable in that sense. It's that guy who communicates in Japanese fluently. He's from this country. We never knew this and that. This is how your brand gets known. Like, they're just a lot of avenues for you to what? To access, to tap into with your abilities to speak in Japanese. Yes, guys. If you enjoyed this video, the next video is going to help you understand how you can learn Japanese. And not only how, but I've contextualized my experience in learning Japanese and how I am continuing to learn Japanese. So it's going to be an informative video for you. Other than that, thanks a lot, guys. See you next time. Goodbye.